Hello, dear Glencairn family. Here is an update on the Germany 2020 mission team, which was scheduled to leave on Friday, this past Friday, and which at this point should have been in Germany. But in light of what is going on in the world, we are still here in Ontario. Here's a bit of a report on the process that we have gone through regarding the decision making and what the plans are for the future. So first of all, I want to report that the spirits of our team are very high, even though we were hoping to be in Germany today, but we're not. There's not a huge sense of disappointment or discouragement because we were sort of together walking through the complicated changing scenarios that led up to the postponement of the trip. Throughout the whole time, we had no fear of going to Germany in spite of the virus already being present there. We had prayed several times for God's direction. The elders have prayed for us, and Pastor Richard, the mission team leadership as well, and there was confidence for us to be able to go. So we were prepared to go, but the decision was really made for us when on Thursday there was a declaration of anyone returning from Europe to Canada would have to take a 2-week quarantine. And since we have 2 university students and 1 teacher in our midst, that was just not a possibility. At the same time, things were shutting down in Germany, so our ability to minister there would have been limited as well. So the concern that we had was regarding the ability to cancel or transfer our tickets to another time and the costs that would be involved with that. And really, when we called earlier in the week, there would have been some significant transfer costs. But by Thursday evening last week, all those costs were waived, and we were able to postpone the trip at zero cost for the flights. And our hotel costs, we're still working out in Dortmund, but we trust that those will be able to be refunded fully or deferred for sure. At the same time, we have been in very close touch with both Dresden and Dortmund churches about our situation. And the Lord put on our hearts the possibility of perhaps going departing last week of August and returning on the Labor Day weekend. We have quickly checked with Germany whether that would work for them, and that's actually an ideal time because that last weekend of August is kind of the end of all holidays, and their school begins on September 1st. So as we would arrive there, they would be fully back to normal. Schools will be operating, and we would be able to essentially pick up the week and everything that we have planned for this week in March and just do exactly the same thing except at the end of August and early September. We had then checked with our team, and amazingly enough, that time slot works for everyone. There's 1 team member that just needs to confirm a personal commitment that he may have with family, but it looks like we will be able to simply postpone everything as is and just shift it to the end of August. The Dortmund church plant, led by Alex Suderman, they were quite excited because they said, hey, that's the official launch of our church, and it would be fantastic if you could be here for that and encourage us and participate with us in that. So that has been an incredible provision for us, we feel, by the Lord. Further, here at home, one of the team members had to ask for leave of absence from work, and in light of the fact that now he was able to work, he called the HR office to see if what would be the process for him just coming back to work, and they had no record of his leave of absence. It's a bit of a miracle because it was the process did happen and the leave of absence was approved. He has the approval, but somehow on the books it has just vanished, and he was able to just go right back to work on Friday, which would have been the day that we would be driving to the airport. Now the team member, in his job, he needs to schedule his hours sort of 3 weeks in advance. But as soon as we found out that we were not leaving, he called his work and said, "Hey, I'm available next week. Do you by any chance have any hours for me?" And they said, "Absolutely, we're swamped. Please come into work." So we just feel that God has been in this. What has been really encouraging is to watch the positive team dynamics throughout this very fast changing situation. There was no sense of fear. There was super flexibility and joy, actually, even in the throes of this constantly shifting news. So that's our update. We are hoping to confirm everything for the end of August. So the same team would go and do the same thing just a few months later. And we will be rebooking those flights once there's a little bit more certainty, probably mid to end of April. So thank you so much for praying for us. Many of you were praying for us and for checking in with us and asking how things were going. And we're very grateful for your support and look forward to more of it. Thank you and bless you. Bye.